Get ready to enter the Thrivetime Show.
We started from the bottom, now we here. We started from the bottom and we'll show you how to get here. Started from the bottom, now we here. We started from the bottom, now we here.
We started from the bottom, now we're on the top. Teaching you the systems to get what we got. Colton Dixon's on the hooks, I break down the books. Z's bringing some wisdom and the good looks. As the father of five, that's why I'm a dive. So if you see my wife and kids, please tell them hi. It's the CNC up on your radio. And now 3, 2, 1, here we go.
We started from the bottom, now we here. We started from the bottom and we'll show you how to get.
All right, Thrive Nation, welcome back into the conversation. Welcome back to the Thrivetime Show, your daily place to go to learn how to start and grow a successful business. My name is Clay Clark. I'm the SBA Entrepreneur of the Year in your ear, sent here to teach you the stuff you need to know to make your wallet grow. And today I'm super excited because we're talking about this topic that is so wealth repelling, so income killing, so dangerous. It could be none other than this concept of chasing rabbits when you should be hunting elephants. I mean, if you want to make a big income, you can't get distracted by doing small, dumb stuff that does not generate revenue for you. And so to help kind of marinate on this idea, to help really teach these examples, to help provide that next level of first-hand experience. We have a guy on the show today who actually grew a company from 2 people to 450 people. I'm going to repeat it in a slower, kind of a stranger voice so you'll remember. So he actually grew a company from 2 people to 450 people with his bare hands, the hands of a bear. No, I'm just kidding. But he and his partner did this, and they ended up selling the company for over $100 million. $100 million. The company's called Tax and Accounting Software Company. The man, his name is Tim Redmond. He's inside the box that rocks. Tim Redmond, how are you?
It is so good to be here again, Clay. We are ready to rock and roll for an awesome show. I can't wait to cover this material.
And we brought in a guy who's definitely not chasing rabbits. He's out there hunting elephants. He came here for the Thrive Time conference. We kept him a little bit. We sequestered him. We kept him through the weekend. We sequestered him on this glorious Monday. It is Mr. Brian Zimmerman, all the way from Colorado. What's up, man?
Hey, how's it going? I'm glad to be here.
Hey, where in Colorado are you from? I mean, whereabouts?
Actually, Castle Rock, Colorado.
It is
which about
beautiful.
30 minutes south of Denver.
30 minutes south of Denver?
Rock.
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Gosh, yeah. It's we have actually stayed there. We've skied in Colorado.
Is this true? Is this a skiable area?
No. It's not Castle. But we have stayed in a house in Castle Rock, huge mansion, and then we go out for about an hour, go out to one of the big 4 peaks there, come back. Just love Castle Rock. That's where classy people live.
Brian, can you verify that Castle Rock is in fact a place in Colorado? This show's all about the fact checking, and I don't have this on my show notes. I want to verify, is this actually a place? I mean, do you live there and this is a thing?
Yeah, that's verified.
You guys haven't colluded on this story?
That's it. I think he's accurate.
All right, now Thrivers, we're going to get into this topic today again. It's hunting elephants, don't chase rabbits. And there's 4 scams. There's 4 rabbit scams that you want to avoid. And so I'm going to start off with a notable quotable. And Tim, I'm going to have you unpack it. This comes to us from a man who's an Oklahoma State legend. He personally has totally reshaped Oklahoma State University's history. It's T. Boone Pickens, the oil guru mogul. He says this. He says, when you are hunting elephants, don't get distracted chasing rabbits. Bam. I know it's a Booneism. I know he talks in kind of that farm logic kind of mindset, but what does that mean?
Well, I mean, consider the size of an elephant.
Okay.
And then consider a size of a rabbit.
I think some rabbits could be big and important rabbits.
Yes, I've had some dreams where I've had huge rabbits that are ravenous.
Yep.
But elephants are the big deals, the big stuff you want to go after in life. And so when you chase these little bitty things that are hard to catch, actually, you spend all your time, all your energy trying to chase these little bitty things that don't amount to much versus going after elephants. You tell me where you're going to end up.
Now, on our show, typically Dr. Z is inside the box that rocks. He's out expanding his vast entrepreneurial empire. This time he's doing it from Arizona. And but one thing that he tells me over and over, and I love it, is he says, Clay, like the lion, the lion is one of it's the king of the animal kingdom. The lion is a big animal. And he says, if the lion were to run around chasing small rabbits and those kind of things, it would literally be unable to feed itself because of the energy. Yeah, it's like a human eating celery. You burn more calories chewing celery than you actually consume when you eat it.
I'm on a salary diet.
That's the move. So the thing is, Thrivers, is that if you're an entrepreneur out there, you can't get distracted doing things that don't matter. So I'm going to get into the first rabbit scam that I see so many people getting screwed up with in their entrepreneurial game. Okay, this is, if it seems too good to be true, it usually is. So I see many entrepreneurs who are good people, and they go, Clay, I want you to know, I read a blog last night, and it said if I pay them $4,000 up front, I can get to the top of Google immediately. What do you think about that? And I say, was it sent to you from a Nigerian prince via email?
I got one from them too.
Well, actually, I don't think it was from Nigeria, but I think he was from India. It seems all right. And it constantly happens. It constantly happens. I talked to a guy just today at 4 o'clock today. If you're listening and you know who you are, Brian, do not say who he was. But he goes, some lady told me for $10,000 she would help me just exponentially grow my business. It's upfront. And he said, how many deals did he get from the 10,000?
0.
Oh, so Tim, I want to ask you, you've worked with entrepreneurial clients, you've worked with entrepreneurs and business owners all over the planet. Just kind of think deep into your coaching past as a business coach. Have you ever seen a business owner that that they are buying into it's too good to be true thing?
Oh, it happens every day. We get bored with our businesses, Clay. We get bored with the everyday. I've been doing this for 30 years, and so we're busy chasing rabbits. I say we have this squirrel-itis, that we see something bigger, we see it looks exciting, and so we put heart and soul into it. We use this saying, it's just hilarious how often I see this.
Now, I'm going to read you, Thrivers, an example that blew my mind when I discovered it years ago. But there's a guy named Charles Ponzi. You ever heard of the word Ponzi scheme? The Ponzi scheme?
There's actually a guy by the name of Ponzi.
And I'm going to read this to you. He says, I wrote this. This is from my book, Jackassery. It's a book called Jackassery where I tell you about dumb things that I got involved in earlier in my life. You can get it on Amazon, but it's wild. But here we go. Charles Ponzi told his investors that they would earn a 50% return on their investment dollars within a very short window of time. Sounds reasonable, by the way. Is that right, Bart? Sounds reasonable. Yeah. He was able to actually pay out huge returns to his initial investors because he was paying his past investors with the investment dollars of new clients. He would then use the testimonials of his early investors as evidence of his success as a solid money manager. But when people started to sense the Ponzi's promises were maybe a little too impressive and they began to investigate his plan, things got badly quickly. Ponzi didn't have the funds to pay out when his investors called for their money. His scheme was exposed and he went to jail. Now, this is a thing. I'm just telling you, this is a deal. Now, this guy was ahead of his time because I'm telling you what, a guy came in years later named Bernie Madoff. Remember Bernie Madoff? And in 2008, homie was busted, okay? Bernie Madoff, and he swindled his clients out of $65 billion.
Oh, it's ridiculous.
Billion
he tried
dollars.
to Madoff with the deal.
So here's the deal, Thrivers. If you're involved in the world of business right now and you can think of something that's too good to be true, it probably is. And so I have a story that I did that was a kind of a dumb thing, and I'm going to tell you the story. So here we go. So years ago, I'm setting up for a DJ show, and these guys pull up in a van, and these guys say to me, true story, these guys, it's from the DoubleTree Hotel, and they say, here's the deal. We have these speakers that apparently the customer over ordered. They had too many they ordered, and so we have these extra speakers. And it looks like you're a DJ. If you want to buy them right now, cash, I mean, they've already paid for them, and they don't fit, and we can't refund it, and it's a whole thing. So if you want to give us $200 right now, we'll give you these Cerwin Vega. Now, Cerwin Vega subwoofers are massive. And I'm like, no way. And he goes, yeah, seriously. He's like, we're just We were doing a delivery right downtown. Anyway, long story short is it's not going to fit the custom job we were doing, and they've already prepaid. And if you want to take them, it's great. We don't want to ship them back. It's too expensive. The cost to ship them back. You see, that's the issue. It's the cost, because they see that I'm starting to get into it. They say the cost to ship them back is too much. And I go, $200? They go, well, it's per speaker. You got to buy all 8, though. And I'm going, what? And they go, and here's the deal. If you want to wire the money right now, and this is untrue. I'm like 21. And I'm like, so I wire the money right now. They go, look at them. They're right here. So they unload the speakers, and I pay them. And they drive off. And when I go back to the show, I DJ the show, I load the crap into this vehicle, I get back to the office, I discover they are basically faux speakers. There's nothing there. There's no meat. It's just a box that doesn't rocks. There's no real power to it. It's totally like the Chinese off-brand deal. Thrivers, have you ever gone to like vacation in Cancun? Have you ever bought yourself some Oakley glasses for $8 or some Nike shoes for $7, and then you discovered they weren't real? I mean, I think we've all at one point. Tim, have you ever done something? Have you ever bought something that was totally crap?
Oh my goodness, I have done that. I've got too many times of jackassery that has littered my life, so I hate to even think about it. I've spent a lot of money on counseling to try to forget about this, but thank you.
Brian, do you have any example that you would like to share? You don't have to share. I mean, you're obviously a thriver here, and I am the source of deprecation. It's my job to expose my psychological nudity on the air for the benefit of the listeners. But have you ever, engaged early on in your life in some serious jackassery, get rich quick kind of deal?
Oh yeah, for sure. Courses online, video courses online, all kinds of.
So like $12,000 to learn the magic system.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you've done it. You've done it.
Oh yeah.
Oh wow. Okay. Now
offshore investing. Get this. Offshore buying into currencies.
Yeah, currency buying.
Getting the stuff that nobody else really knows about, and the people that control this, we can't even let you talk to them.
Well, there's a guy named Kevin Trudeau, and if you Google him, Thrivers, he's a fascinating character, but he wrote these books called 48 Things That the Government Doesn't Want You to Know About. How to Get College Grants That No One Else Wants You to Know About. The 3 Things They Don't Want You to Know About the Food and Drug Industry. And he'd write these things. Well, he's in jail now.
Well, yeah,
probably writing some good books too.
I think he's figured out a way to get rent-free lodging here.
He says the secrets of being in jail that they don't want you to know. No, I'm serious, but he has all these books. I'm just saying, if you're listening right now and you've ever bid off on one of these crazy, seems too good to be true deals, that's okay. I mean, it's okay. We've all made a mistake. But what we're trying to say is, if you're listening right now and you're like, I am about to do that, I think he's talking to me. I'm gonna give you a very specific example. We had a Thriver who was listening to one of our early editions of our videos. And if you go to YouTube right now and you type in Thrive 15 and then the word investing, you can watch the video that we made about this scheme. But he's in New York City and he finds himself in a seminar, and the guy says, here's the deal. If you qualify, we have an investment deal we're doing right now that it's going to be, we're buying some duplexes. And if you qualify, we'll allow you to put $15,000 in. That money will be what we would call put into a controlled environment so that it can make he's like, what we do is we'll then give you what we would call an exponential investment payout. You'll be receiving $15,000 back in about 60 days. And then what you'll do is that money will then be put into an account and you'll be updated, but you're not allowed to take it out because we want to steamroller this. So we have the inside look on these houses that the government does not want you to know about. And he was watching one of our Thrive videos. On YouTube, if you see Thrive 15 and go to YouTube and type in Thrive 15 and investing, you can learn more about this. Long story short, he calls me and he goes, dude, I am about ready to do this, and I'm so glad I watched that video because I'm going, I almost did that if he hadn't watched that video. And so Thrivers...
In real life.
This is true. He's in New York City. He's in New York City. True story. This really happened. It was a crazy deal. But Thrivers, if you're listening right now, what I want you to do is I want you to write down a list of some things that are too good to be true that you're about ready to invest in and quit doing it. Okay? Now, Thrivers, we come back. We're going to get deeper into this concept of hunting elephants and how to avoid hunting rabbits. Okay, we're going to teach you how to avoid hunting rabbits when you're out there trying to hunt those elephants. Go to thrivetimeshow.com to learn more. All right, right, Thrive Nation, welcome back to the Thrivetime Show, your daily audio dojo of mojo, and the place that you go to get into the know about how to start and grow a successful business. Typically, I am joined here with Dr. Robert Zellner, but today he is out expanding his vast entrepreneurial empire, this time from the great state of Arizona. And so inside the box that rocks today, I wanted to bring in some people that are in the know, some great people that really are a joy. They're a big add-on to the show. It's kind of like a bonus to the show. You know, sometimes you bring someone on the show and you say, this person is a quality individual. We're happy to have them on the show. But other times you say, what we have here is we have a bonus to the show. So this is the sound effect we're going to have as we introduce them. First off, we have Mr. Tim Redmond, a legendary business coach and consultant who grew a business from 2 people to 450 people. That was Tax and Accounting Software Corporation. That is Mr. Tim Redmond. Tim, welcome to the show.
Oh, it's so good to be back here.
Oh, see, your sound effect's a little bonus right there.
Yep, there you go. There you go.
Every time Tim talks, we're just going to do this, and I'm sure it'll never get annoying. So, and then we have Mr. Brian Zimmerman. He flew in here all the way from the Colorado area, Denver, Colorado. Did you fly in from the Denver International Airport?
Did you fly or ski?
I snowboarded.
Snowboarded, dude.
Straight out of Denver.
Okay, so you flew out of Denver, but you live where?
In Castle Rock, Colorado.
Castle Rock, Colorado. You came out here for the Thrive Conference, our 2-day, 15 hours of power conference. We sequestered you through the weekend, and so here you are. And Thrivers, I'm excited to get to know more about this
Clay,
guy here.
did you know that Brian Zimmerman is one of these military guys that Thrive reached out to and initially scholarshiped here?
Okay, wait a second. I didn't know about this. So go ahead, talk to us about this, Brian. Well, walk me through the whole military.
The guy is a stud among us.
So when did you serve?
I served from 2000 to 2005.
Okay,
Marine Corps.
For anybody who's listening right now, we have a Thrive set up where it is free for members of the military. So if you're in the military, Thrive15.com is free. It's a scholarship program.
Yep.
Is that how you signed up?
That's exactly how I got started, yep.
Awesome, man. Well, I did not know that. Little boom there.
Yeah.
Thank you for serving, man.
Absolutely appreciate it.
I'm excited. That's an exciting thing.
Yeah, no,
this is a great thing.
This is really cool. We actually connected. I think you heard, didn't you hear some of the videos there?
Yeah,
And then we reached out. We actually talked a little bit. He was actually, he was in a business that he was launching that was picking up dog poo-poo. How do you say it?
Yeah, dog waste and dog
waste.
washing business, yes.
Well, you know what I'm going to have to do in honor of you serving in the military?
Let's do it.
And in our great country, what happens is we now get to we have freedoms. We get to do what we want. We get to start and grow a business. We get to decide if we don't want to start a business. We get to do all that. And one thing we get to do is we sometimes in our country get to make bad decisions. Yeah. You know, and today's show is all about, you get the privilege to make good decisions or bad decisions. We're trying to teach you how to not make bad decisions, such as chasing rabbits when you should be hunting elephants in the game of business. And so in honor of you and the freedoms you're giving us, I'm going to play a bad decision on the air.
Let's do it.
This was Carl Lewis, our American athlete who was a gold medal winner in the track and field. And he said, hey, I would like to sing the national anthem. And they go, are you good? He goes, oh, I'm good. I'm a very good national anthem singer. I'm going to go ahead and do it. And this is what Carl Lewis did. He had the freedom to do so. So here we go. Here we go now. Here we go, Brian. This is for you.
This is beautiful.
Oh, say, can you see?
It gets better.
And the rockets.
Oh.
I'll make up for it now.
He'll make up for it now. Here we go.
He's got it.
For the land of the free.
But he was a very fast runner.
Oh, well.
The guy can.
So anyway, Thrivers, that right there, you can have the freedom to make decisions, both good decisions and bad decisions. But we're getting into some of the good decisions that you want to make in the business game. We're teaching you how to kind of vaccinate yourself against the dark force, the dark wealth-destroying force called jackassery. So this is scam number 2 that you must avoid if you're going to avoid chasing rabbits so you can focus on chasing elephants. This is beware of the secret investment that no one else knows about. So, Tim, I'm going to...
and I have found out a bunch of those that nobody knew about.
So here's one that Forbes talked about. This is Forbes. Okay, Forbes magazine. You know, this is we always quote Forbes a lot because they're a very reputable organization, and they have kind of a little bit of a Tulsa connection. Steve Forbes, you know, who's the guy who owns Forbes and runs Forbes, he is the co-author of a book with Mr. Jim Stovall, a Tulsa native. There's a new book called The Ultimate Productivity that's coming out there. I believe it's called Ultimate Productivity. I will fact check and see exactly the name of it. I just got that book mailed to me by Mr. Stovall. I got a hit the bookshelves copy of it. I just finished reading it, and that's Steve Forbes with Jim Stovall. And Jim Stovall is a Tulsa guy, but this is Forbes magazine. This is what he says. He says, the dinar scam takes on new twist. It says, the Iraqi dinar reevaluation scam has entered a new phase while untold thousands continue to hold the troubled security. The U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, what do those guys know? Recently filed a complaint against Joshua J. Hansen, 34, of Logan, Utah, for attempting to swindle investors in a dinar scam. Hansen allegedly was offering securities that invested in dinars, which were sold to investors with the promise that the Iraqi government would revalue the currency at a much higher value. So basically, people were buying the Iraqi currency with the hopes that it would somehow double or triple in value, and they kept being told via email, it's one step away. And people were like, it's one step away. I could double my money. So good people were buying tons of Iraqi currency. And Tim, we're not going to mention names, but have you heard about this in the city of Tulsa? Have you heard about this?
Oh, I've heard about it. I have been descended upon by many leaders of this cult.
Okay. Now, Brian, in Colorado, did that scam make it out to you, or was it just unique to Tulsa?
When we were in Iraq.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Guys would come up with loads and duffel bags full of dinar. And then they'd bring it back to the States and, try to sell it.
And they said, hey, let's come up with an idea. Why don't we try doing this?
Yeah,
let's sell it like it's...
So I want to make sure I'm getting this. You served in what division of the U.S. military?
Marine Corps.
So you're in the Marine Corps, and you guys are getting it done. You guys are out there.
Hardcore.
And you're out there helping free the Iraqi people. There's a lot of violence going on in the background. There's explosions everywhere. And some guy goes, hey, here's the deal. We gotta buy this denari for like 10 cents because it's gonna be revalued and it'll be worth millions. This was happening?
Oh yeah.
So how much did you buy? How much did you buy? Did you buy any?
Well, the problem is because it became worth nothing.
Oh,
it became worth nothing. So a lot of us had. There's guys with duffel bags full of it, but they kept on to it. They held on to it.
Now, Tim, one of the things the Bible talks about, I know some people are listening going, the Bible? This is a Bible. Is this a Bible show?
Bible.
Well, one of the things the Bible talks about is that if you gain wealth through, through basically, folly, through hastily. Okay, the actual verse here is Proverbs 13:11, and it says, wealth gained hastily will dwindle. Yeah, that doesn't feel good. So it's saying, like, if you scam your way to success, it's all going to dissipate. And so one of the things you have to do, Thrivers, is you have to vaccinate yourself against jackassery. Because jackassery, we all have part of us where we want to get rich quick. Because no one wants to know that, example, we all want to believe that the hamburgers at McDonald's, they're 99 cents. We want to believe that all the animals are organic. There's no chemicals used. There's no steroids. We want to believe that. And then we watch the Supersize movie. We watch these shows and we go, oh no, they use steroids. Obviously, how can it be so cheap? Right. They got to grow a cow super fast. It's not a good thing. So, drivers, when we come back, we're going to get into more specific examples of how you want to vaccinate yourself against jackassery and that secret investment that nobody else knows about. Thrivetimeshow.com. All right, Thrive Nation, welcome back into the conversation. It's the Thrive Time Radio, your place to go to learn how to start and grow a successful business. It is also Tulsa's only local business radio show. We can now be heard in Chattanooga. We can now be heard in Bentonville, Arkansas. We can now be heard in Tulsa, Oklahoma. We can be heard in Owasso, Oklahoma, Broken Arrow, Oklahoma. If you're hearing me right now, you can hear my voice. We can hear you too. This is the Thrive Time Show. We are so excited to be here with you. And inside the Box That Rocks today, I'm honored to have Mr. Tim Redmond, a legendary business coach, on the program. He actually grew a business from 2 people to 450 people. He did that whole American dream thing, and now he helps teach business owners how to grow a successful company. And we have Mr. Brian Zimmerman, a member of the Thrive15.com community and a member of the former member of the U.S. Marines there. And I guess in the Marines, you never retire from the Marines.
Once a Marine, always a Marine.
So at any point, if things get rowdy, he's going to defend us. So I feel safe when he's around here.
Oh yeah, he's kick ass. He's all the way, man.
Whoa,
He's
we
a
almost had to censor the guy. We've got a guy flying off the handle here. Very, very hoorah-ish. Okay,
Yeah,
so here
but
we
a
go.
Marine.
And we're talking about Thrivers. We're talking about this idea about don't chase rabbits when you need to be chasing elephants. Okay? So we're talking about the 4 scams that are always trying to take your money and your energy, these rabbits. And scam number 2 is beware of the secret investment that no one else knows about. Now, Proverbs 13:11 from that controversial book that some people don't want to read. It's called the Bible. It says, dishonest money dwindles away, but whoever gathers money little by little makes it grow. Let me read it one more time. Dishonest money dwindles away, but whoever gathers money little by little makes it grow. So I'm gonna read to you from my book, Jackassery, because I think it's something you need to know. So it says, over the years, you're going to personally witness countless close friends and family members who get caught up. You ever know somebody's been caught up, Tim? They get caught up in this type of get-rich-quick deal? You ever seen that before?
I've seen it. I've experienced it. I've been the main star of that show, unfortunately.
Okay, so they get caught up in that get-rich-quick investment scam that doesn't make sense. The con men, the snake oil salesman, will look great at first and will always drive a nice car. They have a nice family and all the right answers to your friends' questions. And when people visit the homes of these con men, they're going to find Bible verses framed on the walls, fresh-baked cookies in the oven, potpourri in the bathrooms. The con men and their families will seem like great quality people. These men will be able to quickly convince your friends that their investment deal is related to a rare, short-term loophole recently discovered in the system. This loophole is something that very few other people know about, which is why they will tell your friends that they need to invest $20,000 right now. You see, these con men will encourage your friends to keep the information to themselves to avoid the scrutiny from others who are too narrow-minded. They're too narrow-minded to understand. And you'll see your friends over time lose it all as they decide to exchange their long-term success for the promise of short-term, ludicrous returns on investment. When you see these con men coming your way, run away. Do not let the inner jackassery and the naivete and that lust to get rich quick talk you into spending even a moment with these people. Thomas Edison says this: success is 10% inspiration and 90% perspiration.
Preach it, man.
So,
that's
Tim,
good.
you've worked with businesses. You've helped local businesses all across the country grow. And I'm just going to focus on search engine optimization as an example.
Optimization.
If you want to get to the top of Google, you've got to have a Google-compliant website, and you have to have more content than anybody else.
Grind.
Talk to me about when you talk to a business owner, because I'm going to brag on Steve Currington. He's who I'm going to brag on.
Yeah.
But talk to me about when you see a business owner and they want to scam their way to getting the most content quickly. What are some of the moves you've seen people try to do?
Well, I've seen them copy huge, vast amounts of copy from books or whatever, and then paste it onto their pages and reverse the text so as if nobody can see the text.
And this is the thing, Thrivers. You can't get rich quick in Google. Check it out. Google says whoever has the most original content will be top in Google. They said they will be. They'll be top in Google. Now, here's the deal. Is to be top in Google, it has to be original, relevant text. So you got 2 ways to do it. 1, write it. Write it? You mean time? Investing my time? Or 2, you could do a radio show or a podcast or some kind of activity. And then what you could do is you could go out there and transcribe the words you said. So, example, this show produces about 16,000 words of content per show. But what happens is some people don't like that concept of actually writing the words. And so what they do is they say, well, I'm just going to copy content from other websites. And Tim, Google has a tool they use. By the way, Google's a multi-billion-dollar company.
They're very smart. They're very smart people. And
there's a thing called Copyscape, which will show you when plagiarism occurs on the internet. And then there's another guy who says, I'm going to get rich slow. And I'm going to brag on this guy. This is Steve Currington. SteveCurrington.com, Tulsa's #1 mortgage banker. And I'm going to tell you what Steve Currington did. Steve said, what do I need to do to be top in Google? And I said, you need to have more content than anyone else. And he goes, okay, so I need to write it. I said, yep. He goes, what's my other option? I said, you can record a podcast every day and we'll transcribe it because every hour you'll produce 8,000 words of content. He goes, I'm in. So that man came in here. Have you seen this?
Well, you can videotape it too. Now you got video as well.
Exactly. And he came in here, Brian. He recorded every single day. Recording. He came in here on a weekly basis, a daily basis. And when he recorded his 100th podcast here in the Thrive15.com world headquarters and transcribed it.
Here's a sticker right up there celebrating that.
Yeah, we actually bought him an ice sculpture with the 100 on it.
Oh, yeah.
He is now topping Google. If you type in Tulsa mortgages, there he is. And so if you're looking for a mortgage right now, you need to use the guy. And by the way, if you say, I don't like your endorsement, just Google Tulsa mortgages and you're going to find him. And you know why he's there? Because he sowed the seeds. Check it out. He tilled the soil. He sowed the seeds. He watered the seeds, and then they grew. Let me repeat. He tilled the soil. That seems like work. He sowed the seeds. That seems like work. He watered the seeds. That seems like work. And they grew. But the thing is that God set up these principles into motion. And just because we have a digital world now, it doesn't mean you can hack your way through life and not do the work. So, Tim, what would be your encouragement for somebody who's listening right now who maybe they say, okay, I'm an insurance salesperson, and I know I have to make 100 calls to book 5 appointments to close 2 deals. And they're going, there's got to be an easier way. And they just keep looking for ways, and days go by, and they keep avoiding the hard work. What encouragement would you have for them?
Well, I would say get in front of you what it is you want. If you want poverty, then you continue to hide behind the fear, the call reluctance, it's so hard to do this. Everybody's going to say no. You've got to just get over that. Get your vision. For the joy set in front of you, for the vision in front of you, say, I am willing to pay any price it takes to make those calls.
I 100% agree with what you just said, but I really want you to hammer home on that, because you just said some profound things. You're saying be willing to give up whatever it takes to get there. What get into that?
Oh, gosh. You and I were talking about this just the other day. I said, Clay, for you not liking vacation, I love vacations with my family. She goes, I cannot afford to love vacations right now. It's a distraction for what is in front of me now. Now, we understand here there's some unicorn type of characteristics that flow out of your mouth from time to time. However, I'm telling you, when you get really clear with what you want, you're willing to pay any price to get it.
Now, when we come back, I'm going to ask Brian about the process of being trained to be a Marine and what kind of trade-offs you had to make, because that had to be hard, and there's no way to kind of fake your way into the Marines. The sacrifice, the training, it's unbelievable. Stay tuned. ThriveTimeShow.com. All right, Thrive Nation, welcome back to the Thrive Time Show. Some people want to talk about getting rich quick. I want to talk about guaranteeing your wealth slow. Okay, because you could go out there and chase those rabbits and get distracted. And that's what we're talking about today, is don't get distracted chasing rabbits. Focus on hunting elephants. Whatever it is that you seek, don't look for ridiculous, unrealistic shortcuts. Am I saying don't look for efficiencies? No. I'm just talking about don't look for smoke and mirror answers when you know it's not plausible. And so inside the box that rocks today, inside the Thrive15.com world headquarters, and inside the center of the universe, which is inside the great state of Oklahoma, we have Mr. Tim Redmond, a legendary business coach, and Mr. Brian Zimmerman, a thriver, which means that he is a member of the Thrive15.com community. And because he honorably served in the United States Marines, he earned a hand up, which means he has a free membership to Thrive15.com, which means that he has a special place in my heart, because it means that I could not, you could not, we could not even enjoy the freedoms we have today. You couldn't start a successful business in a country that doesn't have safety and security. We couldn't do it. And I'm telling you what, the sacrifices that he made to create the freedom that you and I have is profound. It's awesome. Brian, I thank you for being here on the show. And I want to ask you about this, because when you go to the Marines, you can't really fake your way through the Marines boot camp. So walk me through, what is day one of the Marines boot camp? If you remember that, I know you probably blocked it out of your mouth, out of your head for psychological reasons,
right.
But what was day one of the Marines boot camp like?
So you arrive in a bus, and all of a sudden, next thing you know, you're standing on yellow footprints.
Okay.
And before you know it, drill instructors are coming out screaming at you, telling you to get online. So there's massive chaos, and they try to disorient you for a lot of different reasons. And so after you do that, you go through a series of what they call processing. Which is razors to your head.
Are you kidding me?
Oh yeah, get your camis on.
That's called the process.
and they start to de-civilianize you.
De-civilianize. I don't know. It doesn't seem like a very fun
They
thing to do.
strip every amount of humanness.
Everything.
What
away
happens?
From you.
What happens there? What do you mean de?
So basically, what they want to do is they want to take you and start molding you into a Marine. And so in order to do that, they have to take everything that you're used to, the way you talk, the way you walk, the way you dress, and start from scratch. So they have a clean slate.
Okay. This doesn't sound like a. This doesn't sound like a very good thing.
The slate clean. They wipe the. Do they like do that? Do they do some kind of electromagnetic thing on your brain to?
Pretty much. I mean, psychologically, human-wise, right? So when they're doing that, their purpose is to remold you. It's almost like what we have to do as business owners, right?
Wow.
Right.
Wow.
Now let me ask you this: let's say day 30. Okay, now you're in there. Yeah. What kind of crazy stuff is your normal? What time are you waking up when you're in the Marines boot camp or Marine boot camp?
Yeah, so you're waking up around 5 o'clock, but you're already kind of awoke, waking up by then. So
5 o'clock, you're getting up.
Yep, you're getting up.
How do you start the day?
To banging, yelling, screaming. Get online, get online, get online.
Okay, so they yell, you get online.
Yes, get online, get online.
I'm going to start using that in the office. That sounds efficient.
Yeah.
Okay, so they say get online, and then what happens next?
So from there, they break you down literally from the numbers. In the early parts of the Marine Corps boot camp, they walk you through to getting dressed and everything. So it sounds like something like, put your left leg in put your left leg in your pants right now. And then so everyone puts their left leg in their pants. They put your right leg in their pants right now. You're putting on your right shoe right now. Put on your left shoe right now. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You should be done. This is so I'm done.
It's kind of the
Get your
John
pants up
Wooden
right now.
approach here.
Yeah. So
Let's. Yeah.
So after you go through this process, when does the fun stuff start? I mean, when are they going, guys, we're going to have cake? And because when do they do this? When do they go, well, Brian, how do you feel? How do you feel?
That's never a question asked in the Marines.
And unfortunately, it's getting weaker, it seems like, because of politics, but yeah, it wasn't at the time.
Okay.
It's still probably not.
And you know what you want if you're listening right now, Thrivers? We want a weaker Marine.
Yeah.
We want to have a Marine that feels good, but they still yelled at you a lot when you went through.
Oh, yeah.
How many push-ups are you doing at one time?
You're doing more than push-ups. They make up things.
Like what? Give me an example.
Oh, jump up in the air, twirl around, and then land on your stomach without catching yourself, and then do a push-up. That's a push-up.
They get you to a point where you can't do anymore. Then they ask you to do more. Isn't that right? Just pushing the limits.
It's about being pushed. It's about systems and processes with everything that they do. And before you know it, you asked me earlier, what is it like after 30 days? And you really start seeing the transformation of what it looks like from scratch to really what you can accomplish with right systems, tools, and processes and people in place. Just same thing.
Now here is the next, and it's a fun segue. We're going from super diligence into, again, getting back into this whole concept of don't chase rabbits when you're hunting elephants. Don't get scammed. This is scam number 3.
I'll just interrupt real quick.
Yeah, sure, go for it.
There's a cadence. Speaking of what you just brought up, there's a cadence that's popular in the Marine Corps, especially in the boot camp. And the words of it is, don't let the green grass fool you. Don't let it change your mind.
How would you do that? Go ahead and do it for me.
Don't let the green grass fool you. Don't let it change your mind.
That's what they do.
Yeah.
Really?
That's the cadence.
That's hot sauce. I love it. I love it.
Because they know that when you leave boot camp, you're going home for 7 days before you go into your next training. And they know